Hello, everyone. It's the final president here, Grover Cleveland. You're watching Ink the Book Show, Art for Drifters. Get a load of this. You can follow Ryan O'Connor at Wrangleshank on Instagram, on TikTok, and on Twitter. And if you like his work on the Bonehead comic, you can also watch his Bonehead cartoon. The link to all these things and more can be found in the description. Furthermore, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to all things Wrangleshank and all things Ink the Book. Thank you.
It's time for Ink the Book Show with your host, Ryan O'Connor. And now, let's ink the book.
Hey everybody, it's Ryan here, coming to you live from a room with a bed back there. I am doing a page of my first graphic novel, Bonehead. Look, I've been drawing new pages. This is take 2 of page 200, because I'm reworking a scene. Slowly but surely. Let me get that light out of my wife. I've been getting yanked around town, not doing streams for the past few days. Yesterday I was throwing axes at an axe throwing establishment. So that was fun. But now we ink the book. We ink the book. Yeah, my last few streams, I didn't even ink the book. So it's been a while since I've inked a page. I just did random draw streams, which are not as fun as inking the book. I'm going to focus here. I've been inking this book for nigh on a year now. This 250-page book. So yeah, I don't even remember what I've been doing the past few days. Or why I haven't streamed. I'm sure it was partly due to work, my day job. Yesterday was largely due to a spontaneous invite to go throw axes with my sisters at some axe throwing place. That was fun. Oh, I also got invited to, a few days ago, I was invited to go watch my brother's last softball game for the year. And I haven't seen one softball game of his. So I went to that. And they all died. It was the worst game of softball ever. And I lost an eye. Okay, I can't back that up because you saw me with both my eyes. Well, you saw me with both my glass eyes, so I lost an eye there, and I lost an eye at the axe throwing place. Okay, I'm a liar. I'm a bald-faced liar, which is true because I also shaved my face. See, a bald-faced liar can tell the truth. If a liar's telling you that he's a liar, can you trust him? I'm not so sure we should. So, last week, my one nephew had his first day of kindergarten. Today, my other nephew had his first day of kindergarten. But I didn't get to see him today. My other nephew, on his first day, he was going to my parents right after. I can get to my parents' place pretty quick, so I brought some presents for him. I got to get some presents to my other nephew now. So I was working on pages yesterday. I've been working on the book, just not streaming work on the book. Though I haven't been inking, because I ink everything on stream. I did do a sketchbook drawing yesterday that I kind of like. I shared it on the Discord and social media, I guess. It's like these toys. There's a doll and a stuffed bear whose stuffing's popping out, and then a like one of those horsey sticks that you ride. His eyes falling out. I also drew this stupid bear in a soup can for some reason, and it says Teddy Soup Can. I don't know why. I drew a soup can, and then I drew a bear coming out of it. And, when stuff falls out of your wrist, it's not always the best idea when you let your wrist do the thinking. Okay. So, what else is going on in the world? The stock market is on the mend or on the brink of catastrophe. I don't know. I don't know nothing. I'm what you call a layman. Um, I only pick up a newspaper when it's to throw it in the trash or something. Oh, I tried this great restaurant yesterday by the axe throwing place, um, where I had this burger which was covered in it was covered in chorizo, oh, and avocado and corn and black beans. Mmm. It was a lot like a torta, which you may have heard me talk about my love for tortas before. Ta, before ta. And then I just had the rest of these nachos I got too that were covered in barbacoa. Oh, I love barbacoa too. That's the cheek of the beef animal, if I'm not mistaken. Cow. Cow is the animal. The beef animal. But barbacoa, ooh, that's my stuff. That and chorizo. So I'm a happy guy. Now, what is this? There's a finger here, that I know. Yeah, that. Knuckles. Hand. And then this is kind of like his, I don't know what you would call it. Like, is it an ascot? Something like that. Some fancy pants clothing poofing out of his chest under his crossbones bow tie. Okay, and then here's that bone, and here's this bone. This bone, I'll put a drop shed on. Oh, we did a draft for a fantasy football league the other night, a few nights ago. I don't remember what day it is, let alone what day it was when we did that. Also, I don't know nothing about no footballs. I stand to lose a lot of money. No, I'm just kidding. Like, you guys got to help me. I'm in deep. No, I've been doing fantasy football a lot for the past, I don't know, 6 years or something, because I like being a degenerate gambler. No, that's not it. I like just being present with my friends and family. Like I try to um, be, I don't know, be a part of things. So even though I don't know anything about football, I keep joining these fantasy leagues every year. To anyone who's having one, this year I haven't heard of one going on between my family. Usually there's a family one and my drinking buddies one, and this year it's just that one, and half my drinking buddies aren't even in it. What gives? Maybe I'm the only one who likes to be a part of things, or whatever it is I said. Maybe I just get too dang riled up when things go or don't go my way in fantasy football. No, that's certainly not it. Last year was pretty cool because on my birthday, see, I wasn't doing particularly well, I don't think, last year, but the most exciting fantasy football day was on my birthday. We went to a cigar bar, me and my roommates, or a cigar lounge, and because I wanted to smoke cigars and hang out. And all that was really going on there was they had the football games on, and so we were kind of like watching our fantasy uh, numbers. Oh, we had gone to dinner before that, and by the time we got to the cigar bar, I had all but given up on any of my teams doing any good because, or any of my players doing any good because uh, I was like, I think I was like 98% like sure to lose against my opponent that night. My opponent that night, who is in my house tonight, right now. Um, so I was 98% sure to lose to her, and so I was like, I was kind of checked out. But that's what we were doing at the cigar lounge, like just kind of like seeing if anyone was doing anything because that's what was on the TV screens in front of us and all around. And so all of a sudden, my roommate's like, "Did you just see that?" Because he probably knew what guys I had at that point. And I was like, "No, what?" He's like, check your check your fantasy." And I look at it, and I had gone suddenly, very suddenly, gone from 98% sure to lose to 98% sure to win against my opponent. Like it was wild. And then I just I ended up creaming her by like 20 points or something like that. Or it was something crazy. It was like I beat her by so much. I think it was like 40 points or something when it just like totally flipped. And so that was the funnest I ever had at fantasy football. It was on my birthday last year. Oh, I ought not to have filled that in. That's part of his jacket. I thought it was the background. So here And for those who care, maybe I'll talk about art, because I don't care about football, and people into art tend to not so much care about football. Least of all me. This is my graphic novel. It's about 250 pages. I'm reworking a scene. So this is the first time I've done a page in a few days, but I'm otherwise, except for the 15 pages or so that I'm going to add, or that I'm redoing, I'm repenciling them right now, rewriting and repenciling them. Other than those, I've done the whole book. I have this huge stack of pages right over here on my bookshelf, thicker than life itself. And you know how thick life is. Thicker than an inchworm. Around, 250 pages is pretty thick. I'd say it'd probably be a book like that, but it's a stack of comic book art boards like that or something. Maybe I'll show it off. Yeah. First things first, let's draw this page. Let's ink this page. But so I'm doing this on comic book art boards, Canson comic book art boards. They're 11 by 17 inch pages. And then this is my Winsor & Newton Series 7 Sable Kolinsky size 3 brush. I'm using Speedball Super Black India ink, which could be super blacker if you ask me, but what do I know? But it does the trick. And what else? I inked my panels I with a ruler and some Copic multi-liners. And a little minute ago I used this Sakura Jelly Roll pen to it says number, excuse me, I'm burping. It says number 8 on it. But I don't know that I've ever seen any other size. Maybe there's a whole cadre of sizes. Alas, I've but seen size 8. And that's my white. I also use this Pentel Presto Jumbo Correction pen for a lot of white. And that'll throw a big beefy white down if you need it. And it's lasted me a while. I bought a Posca Uni something or other white pen one time. It was like I opened it, tried to use it once, it spilled all over the place, and it was done. I will never buy one of those again. Maybe it's a fine pen. I don't know. But I wasn't able to use it right out of the package properly. And it failed me. And I failed it, I'm sure. But personally, I would be afraid to spend the money on it again. I think that was the first white pen I bought. I don't recall throwing it out. Otherwise, I'd show it off. But I don't seem to have it anymore, so I must have. And I got most of my tool recommendations. Like when I'm looking for a tool, I find Jake Parker's tool list to be handy. Oh, I'll show you what I use. I need to get new refills for it because I was trying to use it last night on my sketchbook, like that toy drawing. This is a Fude something Pentel Fude brush pocket brush pen, and it's got this little, I don't know, symbol on there. I'm sure it says Fude in Japanese or something, or like, I don't know, Russian. It's probably Japanese actually. um, but I have two of these, but I get 12 refills at a time on Amazon. So this brush pen's cool. I use it for most of the big black areas on my see, it's out on my sketchbook drawings. Though you can get real thin with them. I might actually need to get a new one because the tip is getting a little frayed on it, and it's already that way on my other one. You can hear. I'm sure you can hear my roommates like cackling like banshees down there, but usually this is a good pen for like you can get a large variety of thicknesses out of it. You can get real thin with it if you need. If you have the diligence to master a pen, you could get a lot of good use out of this pen. I use it for mostly for thick black areas because I'm a coward. Um, it's actually pretty comparable to this, like using a brush like this. Only the control is a little different. I don't seem to be able to control this brush actually at the moment, like I was about to demonstrate. But I haven't used it in a bit, but I think in not using it in a bit, I can't get as fine a point on here. Well, maybe I can. I'm just closing in my work area, I guess. But yeah, I can easily go from I can easily go real thick or thin with it. And that's kind of how that feud or Fude or whatever it is, Pentel pocket brush should work, I think. But I was saying, I early on when I was looking for art tools to try, I went to Jake Parker's website, and he's got a section on his website where he has tool recommendations. And he's the guy that created Inktober. And he also has comics that he does. He does something called Missile Mouse. I'm not too familiar with his comics, actually. But I like his YouTube channel. I like him. He seems like a nice guy. He seems like a very good artist. Inktober's coming up. That's always his time to shine. He usually does a drawing every day, or very close to it, for Inktober. I usually do too, for the past few years. But I usually do a drawing every day anyway, but I've gotten real bad about that. With apologies. I usually post a drawing every day on my social media. Usually I do a stream every day, but I haven't in 4 days. But like I say, you know, things come up. I try to make my day job and hanging out with my family and friends and art all kind of work harmoniously. I try to make time for all of them and not sacrifice one for the other. And stuff like that. And church is in there too. Try not to I try to make them all work and then make time for them all. But sometimes it's harder to pull off. Okay, so that's this panel. Yeah. Gonna add some drop shadow. That's the underside of it. I hate when I catch myself not following my own logic. So this line continues here. I'm going to make this higher up because that's the other part of his collar. Here, I'll use this time. I'll use this. Sorry, I'm not focused. There we go. I'll use the jumbo correction pen this time. Oh, and it just farts all over the place. Now I'll wait a minute for that to dry. That's like a seam to the shoulder of his jacket. Look, I think it's not quite dry. And so somebody said they didn't realize I was dipping my ink every so often. I have over to the side, I have some paper here sitting on my desk, and I keep a bottle cap. I have a whole bunch of bottle caps on my bookshelf over here in a little dish, and I just pour ink into there, and that's usually plenty for a page. I usually pour a bit back into the bottle after I finish my page. So that's that. Okay, and that's the color to his jacket. Sure, fine. I need to do drop shadow onto it from this bone. I want on that jacket because that's getting to the back of his body. So it probably won't see a shadow from this bone. I've been re-listening to Norm Macdonald's memoir called Based on a True Story. I love that dang book, and I love Norm Macdonald. We miss you, Norm. It is such a well-written book, and if you're gonna, so I bought it. I bought the physical copy for my brother for Christmas a few years ago, and I also got him the audio book by Norm Macdonald, and he loves both. I'm listening to it for my third time, and it is just wonderful. It's such a well-written book, and it's insane. Norm Macdonald was wonderfully insane. There's the point I was trying to get earlier on my brush, that is. Yeah, if you can get a nice fine point on your brush, you can kind of get anywhere. Like I need a nice, clean, thin, tiny point on my brush, and I can throw any size line down. I can make it thick as I want, thin as I want. Usually. As long as it's like properly washed and clean, and the better shape it's in, the better I can maneuver it. So I try to be diligent about washing it after every time I use it, and washing it thoroughly. Sometimes I don't wash it thoroughly enough, and the next time I pick it up, it's like it's pretty apparent that I didn't wash it as well as I ought to have. And usually, by the time I realize that I didn't do a good job, it's too late because I'm on stream and I'm not going to run out of the room and wash my brush for another 10 minutes. There's There's our hero, Bonehead. And he looks like he means business. Business for dummies. I'm going to say that from now on. You know that book series, like Business for Dummies or Magic for Dummies? I'm just going to be like, whenever it occurs to me, I'm just going to be like, yeah, for dummies. I'm a master of comedy. Comedy for dummies. Here's his tie, and a song about his tie. It is wrong to lie. I don't know, I'm not a good improviser. Hey, I heard today that the Community movie is a go. It's happening. 6 seasons in a movie. I was a big fan of Community and Dan Harmon, and I posted a thing about Dan Harmon's partner when he first moved out to Hollywood. His writing partner, Rob Schraub. They created Channel 101 together, and they wrote Monster House together. They worked on Rob Schraub's comic Scud the Disposable Assassin, which I have the whole shebang, big omnibus of, or whatever you call it. And I posted a thing about the music video that Rob Schraub did for Death Cab for Cutie, the song Crooked Teeth. I don't think he did the main video for that song, but he did like an alternate video. And I posted in the Discord, which you should be able to find in my link tree, which I put in the description of the videos. It's on my Twitch channel somewhere in my bio or something. I don't know how Twitch works. I'm not overly familiar with Twitch, unfortunately. Even though that's where my best video watching audience is right now. Prove me wrong, YouTube. Prove me wrong. But anyway, I posted a thing about the Crooked Teeth video somewhere on my Twitch or on my Discord last night, and about how that song with that video is like one of the most beautiful things to me in the world. I was like, when I first saw it, I probably got a tear in my eye. I was like, I could never make anything that amazing in my entire life. And you might laugh if you watch it when you hear me say that, because it's kind of just silly. It's just like little cardboard puppets, but it's so awe-inspiring to me. It how amazingly well done it is. Just making these, like, he does a lot of, he does what he calls drawless animation, because he's always been an animation guy, but it's like animation takes so long that he has a really good like mind for how to make cool puppets out of like crappy toys and stuff. And he just glues cardboard and toothpicks and stuff to these like old crummy toys, like those he uses those like things you get at the zoo, like where you pull the little trigger and it makes the mouth go like that. He uses a lot of those. He uses, like, I don't know, clothespins and like anything with like simple mechanics to it, and he kind of just glues cardboard to it and makes a moving puppet out of it. And that video is full of those, and it's just, it takes my breath away. And it's like I wish I was Rob Schraub. He also has some cool stuff on Channel 101. My favorite is well, he's got this like this thing called the Ringwald and Molly Show. Molly spelled Molly, like Molly Ringwald. But it's a spider and an alligator, same kind of idea, drawless animation, little crummy toy puppets. And my favorite thing, though, is Twigger's Holiday. It's a 5-episode, and everything on Channel 101 is like 5 minutes long. The idea is like it's a film festival, but it's run like a TV network, and every episode, like if you vote on an episode, and it makes enough votes for prime time, it comes back for a second episode and a third episode. As long as it keeps getting voted back in the top 5, it'll come back next week. And until it's not voted back anymore. And so there's 5 episodes of Twigger's Holiday. And then, you know, usually I think good ones, they kind of like were able to, they knew where they were going to end. And so they would kind of like wrap up naturally. So Twigger's Holiday has an end, I'm pretty sure. I just know it's really good. And that's Rob Schraub himself, like, made up like this weird little kid wearing like some kind of monkey hat, purple monkey hat. And I just love it. He's got a robot friend. It's got some foul language in it because it's Channel 101. I don't know if that offends you. But yeah, I love Channel 101. That's where you'll see like Dan Harmon's earliest stuff, Rob Schraub's earliest stuff, Justin Roiland's earliest stuff. It's where I found out about a lot of actors. I think that's where I first saw Randall Park, who's all over the place now. I don't know what he was in, but I'm pretty sure that's where I first saw him. Then I started seeing him on the TV. What else is on there? I like Dan Harmon's Water and Power, I think, is my favorite of his. There's also another one he has called Exposure that I really liked. That one's only 3 episodes. It's weird that I remember that. Justin Roiland did a thing called House of Cosby's. He did another one called, what was the other one called? Not Doc and Marty. I'm not talking about that. There was something I liked more than House of Cosby's. If you can find Mr. Sprinkles on YouTube, that wasn't on Channel 101, but that was the first thing I saw of Justin Roiland's many, many years ago. That was made for Acceptable TV, which was like an actual TV show version of Channel 101. Mr. Sprinkles is wonderful. And also the other thing that he made for that show called The Unmarketables. I love those. There's 5 Mr. Sprinkles. I think there's 3 parts of The Unmarketables. And I can't think of what the other... Let me look up Justin Roiland on Channel 101. I loved Justin Roiland, and before Rick and Morty came out, when I first heard that he was making a show with Dan Harmon, I was so excited that Justin Roiland had a show coming out because I was so big a fan of all his stuff on Channel 101. And I remember I met Dan Harmon at a Harmontown in Chicago, and I asked him, I was like, how's Rick and Morty coming along? And he's like, oh, it's going great. What do you know about Rick and Morty? I was like, I know Justin Roiland's on it. And he's like, really? What do you know of Justin Roiland? I was like, I'm in love with everything on Channel 101 that he's a part of. And he's like, oh, yeah. And me and Dan Harmon were just talking about how amazing Justin Roiland is. And then it was like a year and a half later, Rick and Morty finally came out. Channel 101, because I need to remember what other show he did, because I liked it more than House of Cosby's. I know that. Let's see. I can't even name that one out loud. I thought there was something else on here that I really liked. I might be thinking of Mr. Sprinkles, though. Yeah, I don't... nothing's jumping out at me. He has a show called Reporters that he was in. And... yeah, I don't know. I must have been thinking about Mr. Sprinkles. Because Because I thought he had a big animated thing like House of Cosby's on there. Doc and Marty is the thing that inspired Rick and Morty, but it's so it's so juvenile. It's I I can't even recommend it. I didn't enjoy that one. I wanted it to be enjoyable when I first heard about Rick and Morty, and that it was loosely based on that. And it's like, yeah. I guess because Drew Carey was friends with all the Channel 101 guys back in the day. He was at some screening because they would screen the primetime shows at like an actual theater in Hollywood. They would like make a big event of it every month, and I guess Drew Carey was watching Doc and Marty or something, or House of Cosby's or something that it was just like that you could never do on TV at all to any capacity. And he's like, who the heck made that? And they're like, oh, that was Justin. And he turns to Justin Roiland. He's like, what's the matter, kid? You hate money? I think Justin Roiland on Channel 101 for a while, he was just trying to he was trying to collect cease and desist letters because he thought it would be cool to have cease and desist letters from Bill Cosby and like Steven Spielberg. Justin Roiland has a lot of cool stuff up on his RoilandTV.com website. I also really liked his podcast, the Grandma's Virginity podcast. I'm gonna take off this jacket because I'm 1,000 degrees right now. And with the jacket, I'm like 1,007 degrees. Now I'm back down to a cool 1,000 degrees. Ah, that's the stuff. 1,000 degrees. Much better. Wallaby. So anyway, I'm excited that Community is getting its movie finally. It was always a joke in the series that they were going to do 6 seasons in a movie. And they did. They miraculously ended up pulling off 6 seasons. Now, the sweet stuff is in the first 3 seasons. That's the good part of the show. But they've got some good stuff in the back 3. I know if they do a movie, it's going to be wonderful. I'm certain of it. I would want them to have Chevy Chase in it. A lot of Community fans or friends of mine that like Community might not understand me saying that, but I think Chevy Chase should be in it. I don't want to spoil the show, but some people might not think it would make sense if he was in it. Like, maybe because of his relationship with Dan Harmon or because of events that transpire on the show. But I think it would be best if he was in the movie. I think I would enjoy it more if he was in the movie. Community was a great TV show, especially those first 3 seasons. Especially the first 2, but especially the first 1. But I remember like seeing ads for that show and thinking it looked really neat, and I was like, I kind of want to check that show out. And I think America only really knew Joel McHale as the guy from The Soup at that point. I was like, I don't care about the guy from The Soup, but he looks like he can be a leading man. That makes sense to me. It looked like a good show, and that's all I knew about it. And then my now roommate, who's just my buddy, then was like, "Yeah, I think I just watched the first couple episodes online, and I think you would like it." It's like, okay, I've been meaning to get around to it. And I watched the first 4 episodes that night, and I was like, "Yeah, this is good." I remember by the time I finished by the time the first season ended, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is something else." And I remember telling my buddy, I was like, "Man, I thought Danny Pudi, the guy who plays Abed, was going to be the breakout star for me on this one. Like, the weird guy. But the real sneak attack superstar in that is Donald Glover. And that was way before I knew he was a rapper too, and he was writing on what is that show called, 30 Rock. Then I found out all that stuff, and I was like, oh man. And Atlanta, that show eventually came out, which is coming to a close soon, I think. But that show's awesome. I've only seen like a season and a half of it, I think. But that show is amazing. I seem to recall. I was loving that. But I was like, yeah. I was like, you know what? I thought Abed was going to be the like breakout character on the show, but man, that Donald Glover guy, he's really like a power hitter on that show. He really is. I'm surprised I picked up on that early on. In a way. That I myself, I mean, because I'm not a very observant guy sometimes, a lot of times. That's the kind of thing I'd have to hear somebody else say before I realized it, usually. Okay, here's Denton Crux and Bonehead fighting over this little flask. Here's his hand. Here's the flask. Cork. Okay. I'm going to throw a shadow underneath his finger here. I'll throw a shadow under this finger. Here's his hand. Oh, mercy me. Oh, me. Oh, my. Hand it over. That's actually a line from my favorite of Norm Macdonald's movies. I was talking about Norm Macdonald earlier because I'm re-listening to his book for the third time. He's mugged by some kids in the movie Screwed, which is one of my favorite movies. And you never hear anybody talk about Screwed. It's one of... Oh, man, I love Screwed. It's got Danny DeVito, Dave Chappelle, and Norm Macdonald in it. Sarah Silverman's in it the tiniest bit. But yeah, Norm Macdonald gets mugged by a couple of kids. The one kid, he's got like a briefcase of money, and the one kid's like, "Hand it over." What? Get away from me! And they like tase him and steal his briefcase. Or I think they shiv him. I think they tase him and shiv him. So I was drawing Bonehead on here recently. I was saying his. Not that I ever liked the comic Dilbert, but his tie is kind of inspired by Dilbert. How Dilbert has the curly up tie. Bonehead's is just like a zigzag. So I didn't draw it wrinkly originally, but I thought it would help make him like it would kind of make it a part, help sell it as part of his character that he was kind of like a natural loser. That it even kind of like is present in his clothing. Like his clothing is just looking skanky on him or something. I don't know. He's not a jack of all trades. He's just a master of none. So, well, there's Bonehead and Denton Crux. Now we got to draw a background of some sort. I'm just drawing different machines in every background. It's probably not the most professional way to do a background. Just wing it. But I've got this feeling that I'll be fine. So you know that song, There She Goes, by The Laws? They've got this other single from that album called, I don't know if it's called Feelin' or if it's called I've Got This Feeling. I think it's just called Feelin'. It's also a really good song. There's that. Here's this machine. Okay. So I've been listening to Norm Macdonald's book, but I've called Based on a True Story, and last night I also read some Psalms from the Bible. I read J.P. Moreland's A Defense of, what is it called? Scaling the Secular City. And I read from Jordan Peterson's new book, Beyond Order. And I also read a little bit of I'm trying to read all these books at the same time because I'm impatient. And I've started reading this book like 3 times, and it's tiny, and there's no good reason why I haven't finished it. It's the first book by John Swartzwelder, one of the most famed writers of The Simpsons. And I've read excerpts from this book on this channel before. I'm not going to now because I'm going to finish this page. But do what I did and read the excerpts on Amazon.com of his books. He's got like 20 of them or so. I own, I think, 3 or 4 of them. Let me see. I have this one, The Time Machine did it. I also have Earth versus Everybody and Double Wonderful, which I think are the first 3. They're in no particular order. I think they're just in separate stories. But when I heard about these, I just went on Amazon and I read the little preview of each of his books on Amazon, and they are just screamingly funny. Just oh man, they're about I think all of them except for this one, the second one, are about Frank Burley, who is a detective, and I don't know who this one's about, but I think that was before he decided he wanted to keep writing that character. But it is just so funny. Like right away, it's funny. And I highly recommend it, even though I haven't finished one of his books yet. Like I said, I've started that book 3 times, and it's always still funny to me. And I read it in my head in the voice of Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. I always have. I don't know why, but I just do is all. Just because, I suppose. Just because. More smoke, more fire. I'm probably going to add more detail to that smoke later, when I'm dead and gone. I mean, once I finish this panel or something. I didn't have more detail in that smoke over there, in the other two panels, but I'll probably add more detail there too. Happy? If you ever were happy, you'd never admit it. I know you. I know people like you. I'm your dad. Some kind of vent. Whoosh. I reminded myself of a song by the presidents of the United States of America called Some Postman. It's probably the first song I knew by them. I love that song. Here's some kind of button. General machine type features. It's not important. Oh, mercy. I've got this feeling. I shouldn't be singing, because Facebook mutes my videos when I sing. And I stream this to Facebook too. Okay. Millions of peaches. What did I just say about this singing? I wonder how, like at what point do they pick up that I'm singing a song? Like, surely not if I just say millions of peaches. All I know is the first time I noticed it, I was like, I know I was singing, but I know I wasn't singing well. So I seriously can't sing that poorly and not get muted on Facebook. That seems kind of bogus to me. All right. Like, what if, you know, Paramount or Universal Studios or what if television companies or Disney, what if they started doing that with their movies and you couldn't like do lines from movies without getting muted. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be like all of a sudden I couldn't go I thought this was America. Alabama. And quote South Park, But then like that would get out of hand so fast. I just think it's silly that I can't hum sing like even badly. Like I'm sure I could to some extent, but I'm just surprised. It's not like I was playing music on here. I was. That one really weirds me out that it would do that. Like mute. It doesn't mute the whole video, just the part where it has an issue with, I guess. Because it told me it a few times, but I don't know. It seems weird to me. Beefcake. Screw you guys. I'm going home. It's like I'm gonna find out that is a thing. Life is like a box of chocolates. Who am I? Bill Clinton? That's my Forrest Gump impression. I did not have sex with that box of chocolates. I've been getting a craving to dig back into Looney Tunes cartoons on HBO Max. Oh, if they're still freaking up there, I was hearing that they took down a bunch of like Turner cartoons and stuff like that. A lot of the Cartoon Network stuff, I think. Adult Swim and I hope Looney Tunes are still on there. I heard they took down a lot of Sesame Street. I didn't hear anything about Looney Tunes. Everyone's kind of flipping out about that. So that'll do for the top 3 panels. I think I'm still debating that sentence as I'm saying it, which is why I'm saying it all stilted. FYI, in my humble opinion, that's why I'm saying that way. Don't let me fool you. My opinion is not that humble. I don't come in peace. These words mean war. But I've got this feeling. I'm gonna get so canceled for singing. On Facebook anyway. Let's see. I keep opening and closing the scroll. Ooh, even still more opening and closing of the infamous drawer. Okay. I just use trashy Bic mechanical pencils. The kind that come 32 a pack. Because I'm a fraud. I'm only an artist in my dream. Okay. Back in the depths you go, pencil. Okay, I'm gonna need another cup of tea. He started heating it up another cup before, or another. I started heating the kettle before I came on. But that was what, an hour and a half ago? Yes. I'm gonna hit the button. And that should be heated again in a few minutes. Okay, so there are these like conduits running through the ground is kind of what I imagine is this stuff. For no good reason. It's just maybe it's how all the power is running to all these machines. They're all interconnected through the floor. There's another one here. Who does that Renegades of Funk song? For some reason, out of the damned blue. I haven't heard that song in a million years, but it was stuck in my head all day today. And all I know is the one line, so I gotta look it up. Renegades of Funk. Renegades of Funk by Rage Against the Machine. Possibly the only Rage Against the Machine song I have ever heard. Probably not. I don't know. I don't know what they do. I don't know nothing. Just add a little bit of feeling to these machines, like they're organic. They have little nicks and scratches and dust particles on them. Kind of sets them on the page a little more deliberately, if that makes sense. when there's just the stark white everywhere, it kind of, I don't know, it doesn't feel official to me. So Denton Crux, so he's, Bonehead's trying to pull it away from Denton Crux here, right? This little vial or flask. And so he like yanks him, and then Bonehead swings up and bites down on his arm. He goes, ah, and he lets go. Now I penciled, this is the only page of this book that I penciled on a stream. But I did redraw these two panels yesterday. Because the drawing was a little too big and the action was way too cramped. And I was talking about that when I penciled them. I said I had to kind of refigure out how to draw them a little more comfortably. Okay. What in the world is the time that it is? It is 10:30 in the P of M for the likes of me. But mark my words, finish the page. That's today's assignment. Okay, I'm going to get that cup of tea. If you know what I mean. I'll be right back. In 2 shakes of a rabbit's eyes. Okay. So maybe it was 3 shakes of a rabbit's eyes. What do I know? What am I, a rabbit eye? A rabbit optometrist? Hey, am I? Never mind the diploma on the wall. That was something I got as a gag. It's totally unrelated to actual rabbit optometry. Now everyone knows my secret day job. I'm a bloody rabbit optometrist, it turns out. What am I talking about? I'm like one of those mentally ill people. I don't know. I just let my mind run on autopilot because I'm all alone. I always invite a billion people on to this show to join me. Nobody joins me. I guess they don't like rabbit eye care specialists or something. Well, to hell with the lot of them. Nah, everybody's good people, even the scumbags. This is what I sound like when I'm on autopilot. Okay, so here's his little jacket that never ends. I could be drawing this guy's jacket for 30 years and I wouldn't be finished. There's so many parts to it. I haven't even drawn the coattails yet. Here we go. Hey, don't forget to like this video and subscribe and hit a bell and do all this other homework. Slam the duck, pinch the spider, bop it. And ward off the demons. Or whatever you do with YouTube or Twitch videos. Share the link with your decrepit grandmother. Your incontinent uncle. Your racist neighbor. I'm sure they'd I'm sure they'd love my YouTube channel or my Twitch channel. Give me a 5-star review on Uber Eats. That would be mighty kind of you. I've got a list of chores here that you could do. You could scrub my dishes. You could wash out my garbage cans and trim my hedges. It's the sound of my stream. The crowd goes wild for Ryan O'Connor. That was a terrible cricket that time. Even the crickets suck. Like, we're not giving it our all for that schmuck. We're not committing to this bit. I gotta get home and catch the news. I was getting a little bummed out not doing streams for the past 4 days. I don't like not doing streams now, but you know, I don't think people realize that I try to do it every day. Like, in my life, realize that I try to do it every day. And it's kind of like, it really is important to me that I do it every day because it keeps me in my work. Yeah. Bizarre Joe, are you Mofuggin Joe? Yes, you are. I see the image. But it keeps me in it. And it like, when stuff kind of takes me away from it, I don't know. It's weird. It was kind of putting me in a funk that stuff kept messing with my schedule where I couldn't make it happen. I made his legs really short at first. In this panel. And I was seeing the old drawing of his legs, even though I kind of erased it and it was kind of confusing me. You're still a frog. What have you been up to, Joe? Let's see now. Oh, I didn't do this bone. So it's same old, same old. Yeah, what did I do? I went axe throwing yesterday. And then I went and got a burger with chorizo and avocado on it. And it had black beans and corn on it. It was a lot like a torta, which are my favorite. I mean, I always get chorizo tortas. So it was like, when I saw it had chorizo and avocado on it, I was like, oh yeah, that's for me. What else did I do? Oh yeah, I went to my my brother's softball game the other day, and we all went to a bar afterward. Here's his shoe. Shoopy doop doo. Dang it. Said, oh, throwing axes was fun. It was really fun. I did it like when the guy was showing us at first. I was doing it pretty well the first couple times I threw it, and then he was kind of explaining the stance and stuff and everything, and for some reason that threw me off. And I was like, oh, I kept throwing it, and it was just bouncing off the wall, and instead of sticking, and I was getting kind of bummed out because I was like, oh, don't tell me it's another thing I'm terrible at. And but one, like, I don't know. I think just him like explaining it in detail how to throw it for a second. I think it was just like I was overthinking it. But then after a couple bad throws, I got back into it and was doing pretty good. It was like by the end, it's like I was hitting the bullseye like every time, but I was trying to hit these other two little dots that they were calling kill shots. I was trying to hit those, and that was a lot harder. Torta, it's like a Mexican food sandwich, but I usually get them with chorizo on it, and it's got avocado and cheese and sour cream, and I don't know what else. But this was a burger with chorizo and corn, black beans and avocado and cheese. And it was really good. Oh, a lot like I want a torta. Okay. See, they're good. They're good. That's probably my favorite thing. Whenever I get Mexican food now, I always get a torta, even if I'm not going to eat it right away. I can't be on too long. Your phones are dying. Oh, okay. I'm almost done. If they die, people will wake up if I watch without them. Oh, gotcha. Had to feel exhilarating. It was fun. We were playing. They said they were calling it cricket. I don't know anything about cricket, but I guess it's kind of how cricket is played. Oh, I guess it's a darts game, cricket, where like you're just trying to get this. It's like me and my sister-in-law and me and my sister-in-law were on one team, and my two sisters were on another team, and we were just trying to get like we would write down 1, 2, 3, 4 on the board, and whoever got each of those numbers on the bullseye, uh, 3 times in a row. I not in a row, but 3 times first. Got each of them 3 times. Won, and we won. Let's see, Domakyo says not the typical time to see you streaming. Yeah, I oh, Joe's headphones died. See you later. So he's out. Yeah, I came on a little late today. I went to work thinking I had a typical 8-hour shift at my secret day job, and it was like 7.5 hours in. My boss was like, "Oh yeah, and then tonight you can do this and this and this," and I was like, and then he walked away. I was like, "Wait, what? He wants me to do all this stuff tonight? What is he talking about?" And I looked at the schedule, and I was on for an extra 2 hours. I didn't know I had a 10-hour shift today. So I got home and I ate, and then I set up the stream. I was trying to get on here about as quick as I could. So I haven't streamed in like 4 days. I almost felt like everyone was going to be like, screw you, I thought you were going to be on every day of your life. You let me down, man. You let me down. I thought I was going to come back to like no followers. No, not really, but I just did kind of have this like unreasonable guilt in me about it. So I'm glad to see people. Glad to see some familiar faces. It's going to be part of this cuff. Ooh. This is going to black. I have to do like the white outline on his shoe over there, or on his foot there. You said, oh, cool. You said you saw some of the content I have on YouTube. Gotta say, pretty sick. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. My favorite things that I have up on there are the Bonehead cartoon, which I feel like still needs work. I think I ought to go back in and touch that up someday. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I do have more that I want to add to that, but I don't know if I'll ever find the energy to dig back into the files and do that. I do want to make a second Bonehead cartoon someday. But I also like the TMBG, the They Might Be Giants music videos that I made. There's one for the song Am I Awake? And then there's one for the song Erase. I made those for some music video contests that they held. The Am I Awake one, I enlisted my my roommate Tyler to do some special effects on that, and I had my sister paint the backgrounds for that. And I won a free record for that one. And then I won a free record, and did I get something else? I think it was just the free record. I was like a runner-up winner on that. I was like one of the top 16 contestants in that contest. And then the Erase one I did all by myself. Well, I not all by myself. My roommate did some special effect work on that one too, Tyler, and but that one I did a lot more by myself, and I got like no prize for that one. I heard nothing back from that one, and I actually like that one a lot more. I gotta find time to do more animation. I should just do little Bonehead one-off shorts here and there. It just takes so long to, like, in between doing this stuff, it just takes so long to make it happen. And then I do this all on the side of a full-time job, but there'll be more animation someday. That's all I know. Maybe I know I'll take a week off in October from my job, because I always take the week of my birthday off. Maybe I'll get some animation done. That'd be cool. I will definitely be done inking the book by then. I'll probably be done inking the book. I want to be done this month, but I don't think that's going to happen. probably be done inking hopefully within the first week of September. I'm still thumbnailing pages very, very slowly. I think I'm going to try to make something tonight for my stream tomorrow. I intend to stream tomorrow. My intentions have fallen to pieces this week. So I might stay up late tonight and work on stuff. So here's Bonehead's hand here. He's grabbing Denton Crux' arm. I'm so glad I redrew this. I'm so glad I landed on a better drawing. I probably tried redrawing this like 7 times, and every time it looked terrible. But I like how it turned out. Here's Denton Crux' arm. He's got this little strap on his shoulder. Crossbones bow tie. Here's his collar. Or the collar to his jacket. And this is his back. This is the other end of his crossbones bow tie. That's like his back going into his shoulder there. And his cheek, his face, lip, face, cheekbone. I don't know. Is that his cheek or is that his cheek? It's hard to tell with cartoon characters sometimes, I guess. I guess it's kind of the same. It's this arc, right? That's his cheek. So yeah, this is his cheekbone. And he's going to have green eyebrows, so I don't want to fill them in like I'm always tempted to. Oh, I've been something I didn't talk about earlier. I've been exercising. I've been exercising. I'll never get a gym membership because I know I'll never use it if I get a gym membership. I would never use a gym membership. I don't see it happening. I would be too self-conscious all the time, or I would never make time to do it. But I've been doing sit-ups and push-ups, and like the ones where you like raise your knees up to your chest while you're lying on the ground, whatever that is. Oh, and the sit-ups I've been doing have been like twist ones where I just like touch my elbow to my knee. The first day, and I've been trying to do 30 of each, and then like maybe do 30 more sit-ups at the end. Um, but the first day I couldn't even do. I was like, I can't do push-ups right now. Like after doing the other two, the leg thing and the sit-ups, I was like, I can't do push-ups right now. What if I do what we always called when I was in elementary school? They were called girl push-ups. I'm sure that term doesn't exist anymore because I don't know. But I'm sure it's got a proper name that isn't that somewhere. But I was doing girl push-ups instead because I was like, there's no way I'm going to do a push-up right now. And then I was like, dude, I always thought these were easier when I was a kid. Like I thought they were like if you do them right, they were killing me. And I could barely do 30 girl push-ups. I thought the point of doing the girl push-ups was that they were easier, and I feel like they were not easier. Like when somebody had to do them in elementary school, I thought the idea was that they were easier than regular push-ups, but it did not feel easier. Because my arms fell off. and my guts exploded out of me. And I died. But yeah. So I've been exercising. To death, apparently. There's a line in Futurama that just popped in my head. It's like, then I guess I'll just have to beat you the old-fashioned way. To death. My ink is starting to dry up really fast. I think I'm getting to the bottom of my little beer bottle inkwell. Oh, not on screen. It looks like I've got a lot of ink in there still. I don't know, it's hard to tell. It is 11:15. One panel to go. One small panel to go. That is, I'll eat this panel when I get home with it. I'll reheat it for lunch tomorrow. Bad joke. Dad joke. Boom. What am I drawing on again? I am drawing on Canson 11x17 comic book art boards. I'll show you. The pad looks like this. You can get them at Hobby Lobby or on Amazon. They come 24 pages to a thing. 150 pound paper. So I'm like super strong. Again with the dad jokes. I don't know. And then I'm using Speedball Super Black India ink with a Winsor Newton Series 7 Sable Kolinsky number 3 brush. And that's my secret. He'll be back in a sec. See you. Yeah. Let's see, here we are. So part of drawing with a brush that's different from drawing with just regular pens, because I only started using a brush experimentally maybe 2 years ago. One year of which I've been drawing this book. So, but one thing that I think is different from using just like a pen really is it's less just straightforward drawing. You're just kind of like tailoring how you're holding the brush. You're always kind of like twirling it as you go. You're kind of like tailoring your line, the lines that you put down to the brushes. You're kind of always adjusting your hand for the brush. That's the only difference. You kind of get a feel for how the tip is hitting the page, and you adjust accordingly as you go. Which sounds tedious, but I really do kind of prefer. I would rather draw with a brush doing this kind of stuff than a pen, because you get so much more. I like being able to get line weights on thicker if I need, or I don't know. It just feels right for this. Like, I still do use pens for my sketchbook drawings generally, but I can't imagine doing this now comfortably with a pen. Like the actual inking these pages, I don't think it would feel right for me. That said, I think I am going to use a pen for this right here. These little stars. Because I do want to make sure they're fine lines. Okay. And that's just a Copic multiliner. I get them in packs like these. And I've showed it off before. I have all kinds of sets like that aren't Copic. This is Pandafly, never heard of it. This is Pandafly, never heard of it. Divisal, never heard of it. This is Mr. Pen, never heard of it. So I just get little pen sets like that all the time. One I don't use is what do you call it? It's the popular one, Micron. I don't use microns because I tried using them as a kid. They would show up in art classes and stuff, and people would I would see other people use them, and I remember not liking that they would beat up every time like I turned a line, and I don't know if that was just my untrained hand or what, but I won't go back to them. I don't have that problem with the Copic multiliners or any of those other pens that I showed. Any of those other pens I showed. I don't have that problem, but I suspect I would not have that problem with microns, but if I tried them today, but I don't know. That is why I didn't like them in like middle school. And it was part of the reason I didn't. I was always very timid about inking my drawings. All throughout high school and into college, even. I was very timid about committing drawings to ink. What I would do a lot of the time was instead I found out that if I scanned something in black and white, I could get rid of all the white in Photoshop or something. I think that's what I would do. Oh, I would scan it in black and white in Photoshop, and then I would duplicate the layer and multiply it, and then do the color somewhere in the middle or something like that. I forget off the top of my head, but that's how I would essentially get my line arts. It would just be very clean pencil drawings, and just scanned in it black and white. Because I was too afraid to ink my drawings. And then, like the year or two before I started inking this book, I'd say the year or two before I started penciling this book, actually, I was really training myself to draw every day and do a finished drawing and inking it and coloring it every day. And that got me a lot braver with my artwork. So if you're trying to get better at drawing, just in general, I do recommend making it a point to draw something every day for, like, make yourself do it for a year, and then see if you can go a whole second year once you get there. Just finish a drawing and post it on social media every day for a year. No exceptions. Doesn't have to be big, but it has to be finished. How about this? You see, that's the thing. I don't even know if I always inked it and colored it 100%. But I would say 98% of the drawings I did every day for a year straight were inked and colored. And originally I started that by telling myself I would draw for at least 15 minutes a day. That was part of the rules. It's like I had to draw 15 minutes a day. But because I didn't think I had much time to draw every day, and in making that a priority, I soon came to realize, like, oh, I have more time in my day than I thought, because I was suddenly spending like hours drawing something for my sketchbook each day, trying to outdo myself and stuff like that. It's like suddenly I was spending a ton of time coloring drawings and stuff like that. And I would do more elaborate drawings than I started off doing. And when I look back at that first year, like there's a lot of crummy drawings in there, but it did help me get better, more reliably better. Like that was something that always, it still kind of bugs me, like that I always felt like it was the thing I envied most about good artists was that they were reliably good. It's like anything that they threw down on a page would be impressive, even if it was like some dinky, stupid thing. And like it wouldn't look like a mistake. And I became, in just drawing every day, or yeah, I mean, I still draw every day. I don't always post something to social media like I was, but usually I do this every day if I don't do anything else, just about, or some kind of drawing I do every day now, and just making myself draw every day for years now. It's been about 4 years, because it was part of my this little existential crisis of turning 30. I was like, I'm never gonna do. I still haven't made a cartoon or a book, and then I went ahead and made my Bonehead cartoon, and then I started my Bonehead comic after that. But it was like, I gotta get better at drawing, and I gotta get this. I gotta like draw every day, and it was like I was trying to like. I suddenly started taking all this stuff a little more seriously once 30 started creeping on me. And first of all, don't wait till you're 30. Get serious about your stuff today. But it did make me a more reliably good artist. Like I could just, like, I'm not sure exactly how long it took, but like now I can usually throw down what's in my head right the first time more often than before, or I can at least just throw down something that's at least appealing a lot more of the time than before. And you'll see if you look back at my Instagram, like my first sketchbook that I was posting drawings every day from, a lot of those drawings are pretty. I mean, there's a lot of good ones, a lot of ones that kind of, they've got appeal, but then there's a lot of particularly crummy ones that I am not very fond of at all. Okay. Let me do these objects, or well, his hand anyway, and this bottle before I do anything else. So here's Bonehead's arm, still grabbing Denton Crux's arm. And now he's biting the holy hell out of him. Whoosh. Since Better Call Saul ended, a week ago, I had started watching Breaking Bad again on Netflix, but I haven't watched an episode in like 4 days or so. But I am excited to rewatch Breaking Bad. Even though I do think it is an inferior show to Better Call Saul. Though they do really complement each other in a way. I mean, they are necessarily connected, but I really like how they were made to complement each other by the end of Better Call Saul. Yipe. Okay, I think I'm done with this page. Well, there's that. So I don't know if I'll do another page tomorrow. I might hold off on doing another page tomorrow. This is page 198, take 2. Bonehead 198/2. Just so I know which page 198 I want to use. Because I already have, or I guess I didn't ink the other page 198, but now this way I knew which one to ink, I guess. I have this page I could do tomorrow, but I might hold off and just do a sketchbook drawing or something real quick, and then I can have time to do some thumbnails because I'm still plucking away at those. But we'll see. We'll see what I do. Hey, look. There's a whole room behind me. Yeah, so this has been Ink the Book Show. I think I'm done for the day. I'm probably going to, I don't know, might work on something, some little supplemental video to put in tomorrow's stream, if I can muster it. Or I'll just work on thumbnails for a little bit tonight before I go to bed. It is 11:40. All right. I gotta get on to the next thing, though. Whatever I do. Have a good night, people. Click the thing. Share with your mom. And subscribe to my zine. Other than that, have a good one. I'll be back tomorrow. That's the plan. Bye, everybody. Don't shave Bigfoot unless you want facial scars. Goodbye, everybody.